while they're fixing the mic, I'd like to just thank our principal translator, Ina. She'll be translating, she has been doing for many years for Rinpoche. A wonderful blessing to have her. And then Sister Susu and Chris Kim. And Sister Susu is translating simultaneously in Vietnamese and Chris Kim in Korean languages. Some of you were not here this morning, so I just want to introduce them to you while the mic is being fixed. So tomorrow Sunday, 10 to noon, Kempo Samdhu Rinpoche will again give us the introduction to the Tara, and also on Garchen, which is miraculous. 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. White Tara empowerment by Judge Garchen Rinpoche. Okay, so this one.
So Rinpoche said, thank you all my Dharma friends for coming here today and Dashidele. And so all of you came here because you love me, and therefore you come here to offer me this ceremony. And so what I'm sharing with you is based on my own personal experience that I have gained, especially when it comes to the workings of karma, cause and effect. Also I love you all very much. And so with this mutual love, our minds are in agreement, and so I'm able to inspire you to practice virtue, especially to regard karma. And so all of these prayers that you make for a long life, the prayers to Tara, the dedication to sentient beings, and so on. So all of that is an accumulation of merit. It is a practice of virtue. And that virtue actually that you dedicate to a long life and so on actually also benefits yourself the most. And if you practice virtue, then this is also what benefits me. Actually, if only one of my disciples really observes the principle of karma, then that really benefits all sentient beings. And if my disciples benefit sentient beings, then also I myself am purifying negative karma and obscurations. And then wherever I'm born in the 6 realms, that merit will always be of great benefit. So I thank you very much for that. So that in brief all depends on the practice of virtue. It is the benefit of practicing virtue. And since we are practicing it together here, we are accomplishing the dual purpose of others and oneself simultaneously. And I'm very happy about that. So some of you came from far away, some of you from close by, some of you drove a long distance with the car. I know how you all came here, and so I really thank you very much for that.
제가 마음먹을 내것도 봐, 장도 봐, 늪새기가 편했더니 사지가 봐, 밑을 봐, 또나, 드린 기회는 뭐 저게, 레시 나요래, 드린 가격치도 들이서 왕 표요래, 왕 때는 왕시 봐서 드린 문제지나, 드린 뒤축 통통을 해요. 드리다 당가서 로아메 라왕데 다치서 라왕 약합이 되지 보통 줘봐요. 나요. 마치 뒤집어래. 마치 늘어야 되니 대도 라왕 타게 그러서 말이 레기지서 장로 그래야 왕디 동다 응리시나 다리 정도 상마지가 받더니 내가 토리가 라왕 대화를 줘봐 라왕 타tuk 사지가 고박지와 처럼 통하네. 다니 좀 상마지가 받더라마 돌리 동리 내나 하장들이 동치버리 이 동시바탄지 어디에 상고요래 그때 평 때에 상는 이치리잖아 평 상점 잡아요래 그때는 또 남들만 왕표요.
So at this time, Madame and friends from around the world are all practicing virtue, great virtue together. For example, there are some who engage in practices like life liberation of animals and so on. And so all of these are Dharma activities that are very beneficial, much benefit and merit comes from that. And so all of these practices that you do is a great act of kindness. And it is very difficult to repay this kindness, although we wish to repay this kindness. And so the way to repay this kindness is only through offering the Dharma. And so at this time, therefore, of the various different deities that exist, I will offer you the special empowerment of the Ushnisha Vijaya, the Namgyalma, that is of great benefit in this life and also future lives. The Ushnisha Vijaya Dharani, the mantra, emerged from the crown protuberance of the Buddha. So this is the empowerment I'm offering to you today. And first of all, there is a temporary benefit from receiving this empowerment. Temporarily, from lifetime to lifetime in future lives, you will not experience an untimely death, no obstacles to your life and so on. So even in this life, this benefit is experienced. And then also throughout lifetimes, you purify negative karma, obscurations, so in this and our future life. So it is just as King Rinpoche has explained this morning. And so following that, I am now offering the empowerment to this deity. And so first of all, in general terms, the meaning of the empowerment that we receive, it is a form of independence, of freedom and empowerment. For example, you now live in a free, independent country where you experience much well-being. But then this is only limited to this lifetime, and even within this lifetime, you do not have much choice over your experience of well-being and pain or suffering, because it all is determined by your karma. So if you really understand the meaning of the empowerment, then you understand that you will attain a different freedom that lasts from today onwards until you attain enlightenment. First of all, temporarily, you have the freedom to be born in the higher realms, to experience the happiness in the higher realms. And then ultimately, it leads to final enlightenment. So that is the kind of freedom that you attain from receiving the empowerment. And so knowing that, you understand that that is very meaningful for this reason. So all of you who understand the meaning of the empowerment will trust in their significance. And every time, every moment trust arises, you are accumulating great merit. So we will begin with the empowerment of the Ushnisha Vijaya.
단 대치된 것들이 핀트 끼자시 바나기 정하가 덕탑지든 리레 대회들이 동 라고 고아답 것들이 정하 대바sab들이 바 톱톱거리 상하가 동데 가 통통 길을 빼고 다 옹화하도록 대바지 동데 시래 들이 동도 상하에서 가볼 독학거요래 그래서 정하들 라요래 그래서 정하 탐지는 이들이 다다 식수유하는 배도 동쪽요래 들이라이는 이 럽체 좋은 거니 클래스 합체 좋은 말이 클래스 럽체 좋은 또 양스 합체 정도요래 그 강이나 무슨 르바냐니 제삼 세라제서 합체요래 그 가리를 사이 너무 꼬꼬벌 거는 들사들라는 세면 차리 유는 보더나 들이송을 거는 들이 막을 다데 저들랑 이런 자 뒤동디 하람다 고 되잖아 들이 속다 짜는데 막가네 들이랑 그 seb들 신경 보디 로블 속다 짜가 박차 다 로래 들이 저들 가가 다데 나랑 지나 지 특급 동지 고 라오요에 대회들이 좀 하다지 평초에 동리 이 체내들이 럽들이 다다 가서게 이제 좀 다치 뭐 이제 다들 하자자 좀 만난 거 요래 사자 괴로 녀마까지 설명들이 들이 박바당 소소죠 설날 내가 제 받치 세가당 좀 다톡들이 레전드 파이 장타바 대회들이 남자한테 동주 청주제네 저거요리 들고 직장 위에는 어떤 감이 사적되는 거 속에 이게 뒤만 보고 남자 청주서 그것이 길에 쪼르들 무슨 테마가 더 찾겠거든 하더니 형제 탐제 생때다가 차요리 그 대회는 다 좀하대 자나라 거를 로요 받다들이 사람 정도요리 대회 다다 로지 셀 로지나 서고요리 성하스면 성하스 제바이송 들사 제바미 사모를 떠는더니 사모도 진짜 제와리 때 접사오이송 그때래
So then we come to the historical account of the Ushnisha Vijaya empowerment. And so the Ushnisha Vijaya is the mantra, is a Dharani mantra, retaining mantra. And so in this way, by reciting this mantra, we accomplish or practice the deity. And the Dharani mantra in general is very easy to understand. So it emerges, it comes from a dialogue. So there is a person, for example, that says, I have such and such a problem, I have so much difficulty, please help me. And then in response, the Dharani emerges, the mantra emerges. So by only understanding the meaning of the Dharani, or even reciting it, we accumulate great merit. It is already of great benefit. And so the secret mantra in general is a very powerful practice if we understand its meaning. It is very concise in the form of mantra, but very powerful in its effect. For example, if we just understand the meaning of the Om Ahung Vajra recitation, it is extremely powerful. So in general, the other mantras of secret mantra are more difficult to accomplish, as it is hard to really comprehend its meaning. And it is said that the Dharani mantras, these retaining mantras of various deities, are more easy to practice. And if we recite such a mantra, it will bring great benefit to those who have passed away and also to those who are alive. So actually, the benefit from recitation does not come necessarily only from the deities, because the deity is so special, but it is because we engage in practice. So what determines the power of the practice is not the blessing of the deity, because the blessings of all the deities is the same, but it depends on how much we practice this deity. The more we practice a deity, the more powerful, the more beneficial it would become. And so therefore, the greater will be the blessings that we receive. And so that is because when we practice a deity, we mingle with the mind of the deity. So first we visualize the deity's form, it appears in our mind, and then we habituate to that for a very long time while we recite the mantra of the deity. So it is like our mind really becomes the deity, and we really understand the significance of the deity. And by doing that for a prolonged time, the habitual tendencies of this ordinary grasping at sound and form will be purified. And then what remains is our Buddha nature. That is when all of our temporary habitual tendencies are purified, then naturally our mind is Buddha nature, is the deity. The Dharani is, or the mantra in general, is concise in words, but very profound in meaning, and it is easy to practice. So in general, the secret mantra is of great benefit, but the Dharani mantra of the secret mantras is the most easy for us to engage in practice. And so this Dharani of the Ushnisha Vijaya is considered to be very important throughout the four major lineages, the Sakya, the Gelugpa, Nyingma, and Kagyu, all regarded as very precious. Because it clears away the obstacles to life of supreme beings and also ordinary beings. And then ultimately it purifies our own obscurations, our negative karma. And so there is a tradition of offering the 1,000-fold offering, or a 10,000-fold offering of that Dharani. For example, in the past, we offered this long life ceremony to His Holiness Chetsang Rinpoche, and together with a large assembly of Sangha. At that time, we offered the 10,000 Dharani offering. And actually we can see on that example the power of this practice, because within just a week His Holiness actually was recovered from his illness. So that the Dharani mantra of all the different mantras is considered to be the more easy to practice, for anyone to practice. Only by reciting the mantra we receive the blessings of the deity. And so we come next to the historical background of this deity. And so in brief, Ushnisha Vijaya in essence is Buddha Amitayus, a female deity, a goddess, and that possesses great compassion, and that is very easy to practice.
Ti lui ti nawa shan lui de ke le kare sa ja kwa ti 디 박차대 샤지 들이 뉴모버 레마고사 디 뉴모버 라우데 살샤르나 이 세상을 라우라더니 냐라탕이다 세르라우 야다라서바 지공도 등에서 뉴모 쿠스 라우데 샤르데 들이 박차대 루기지선 장비요레 들이 되게 루기니 뭘 라데 변호사 라고 속도 세면 샤나 들이 되게들 라데더니 딱와타디데 오 사이들이 우리는 이식나데 아들이 발생 쪽다 이식나데라 소가나 셈지야 딱와타고는 셈도요리 데빌 하죠 도다 침보요리 지고를 챵도 도로 탑지 섬노당 주로 남베 뒤다다 기르신이 상금 잡았던지 요리들이 그것처럼 이제 되게 와가 도다도 와그지 또 와도 줄지를 토바이들 들이 와노데 동문의 시선은 들이 문에 받침 보여래. 오, 시보고리 직장 요 말이 대마제들이 다다 수입감이야. 동네 잡침 보여용나. 라사 가지고 속도 생매샤나. 저 생속도 제로요. 근데 봐. 각양다는 쇼요래. 들이 다 소름 보여 말이. 들이 납신이가 된 기빠도 왕성가 사가서랍대. 그 사시 봐도 또 상훈지시 보여래. 훈지시 보차들이 코로나 세배 되는지 맨기네들 남카다베지 이래지 사지 남치 시대 삼바다 hin게 남카다베 세배봐. 옆에는 들이 소소 소와데 시들이 항상 되는 저 와차기 요래. 들이데 라마니 바리 루그라마니 바리 거기 세면이 좀 살고 요래. 들이 나도 자라마니 바리 사이 나가 자데 사서 거기치라지 레나들이 문에지 다다랑 좋아하는 오 당문이 팽이도 없으면 양선 용나 팽이 오르면 따지 고지 따보지 여기 고 들이 용지 양당양도 사데 몸가리 팽이도 없다 나도 잡혀보다 샤르로 찍으면 항상 사듯이는 제가 까통을 들어가면 까도 요리 대회는 진이 양선 용들이 왕건지 바하고를 들이 그 왕참아 쇼고도 왕망보 쇼고도 시에케요래 그래서 먼저 따다르면 되는 거서 로만 용이 있네요. 잡을는 가사카네 준비에 제가 왕도 쇼고 주위는 왕도 토고요 되지 말이야 뭐지 그요 말이 사가서 합시그래 사가서 합대 이시라서 합대 남께가 잘 잡대요래 지 동시 받던 데들이 왕것을 하면 나카리 잡아봐야 되는 로우얼마도 내 범바째 그다음에 손에 주고 주지 좀 말해 또 대박을 라면 지당 semjiga tepa jina jele, wang toku yore, tetarin wang shirjir te tsamni toku yore, nabli kalin wang shoro lang nabjang wang toku yore, tiri teta kuma jane.
So the historical background of Ushnisha Vijaya is like her story. And so in general now about the empowerment, the meaning of the empowerment, the purpose, many of my senior Dharma friends are familiar with that. I always introduce that to the best of my abilities. And so the most important significance of the empowerment is that we can attain freedom, independence through receiving the empowerment. So that is when you die. Normally, when you die, you lose your body, and then still there is the mind, and due to the habitual perception of self-grasping in the mind, you will have a perception of the body that you have right now, but which you have already discarded. You will have a perception of this body also in the bardo. So due to the various actions you have engaged in relation with this body in this life, you have accumulated karma, and these habitual tendencies then will continue to manifest also after you have died. And then whichever of the 6 negative emotions is predominant will become projected. So if it is hatred, it is reflected as the hell realm. If it is avarice or stinginess, it is reflected as the hungry spirit realm, and so on. So whatever is within the mind naturally is reflected, a self-reflection of the mind. And so in this way, our karmas, our habitual tendencies will create a different form in the 6 realms of samsara. So that is in order to purify these tendencies, we visualize the deity, we practice the deity. So first, when we practice the deity appears in our mind clearly. We practice the deity, remembering the purity of the deity's symbols, and we visualize clearly, we cultivate divine pride, we see the deity purely. For example, there is 5 perceptions of purity, and the deity also represents the 6 paramitas and so on. So we see the deity in its pure form, and that is very significant. So that is very important for you, my Dharma friends, to bear in mind. Also, that is always explained to you by the great masters that you have here. You really have inconceivable great masters here. Also, for example, Khenpo Tsultrim Denzin is here. Regarding the empowerment now, it is said when the meaning of the empowerment arises in your mind stream, then you have received the empowerment. So it means that when you really understand the meaning of the empowerment, it really becomes very powerful. If you really understand the meaning, then there is no fear of death. And also when you're alive, you will be able to overcome your difficulties. Whenever a difficulty arises, and you think of the deity immediately, then the deity will protect your mind, and you will not be overcome by whichever difficulty. So there is much more to be said about the power of the deity, but we don't have so much time. But this deity will bring great benefit in this life and future lives. And so what actually is the deity? When we talk about receiving the blessings of the deity, we need to understand the deity to be nothing else but a mind of love and compassion. Beings like Chenrezig have boundless compassion that is all pervasive like space. So this omniscient wisdom of all the Buddhas is this all-pervasive great compassion that is ever present. And if we supplicate to the deity, then we can establish a connection to the deity. And in that way, we attain freedom, independence. So first, in order to attain freedom, by practicing the deity, we must visualize the form of the deity clearly. It must clearly appear in our mind. In this way, we attain the freedom of the body. Then the freedom of the speech is attained by reciting the mantra of the deity, or while we visualize the form of the deity. And so that is something that you need to personally experience. You really must actually experiment with that and to really find the benefit, to see how it really benefits. So in the beginning, we need to understand by hearing the story and so on. But then we also need to personally experience that by actually applying it, putting it into practice again and again, and really seeing for yourself how it benefits. And so, for example, when you run into a problem, and in the very moment a negative feeling arises, you think of the deity, then gain the experience really to see what happens when I do that. What happens when a deity appears in my mind at a moment of difficulty? Does it have the power to let go of this difficulty? Will it get better? And so if you see for yourself what really happens when you really give rise to the deity, when it really appears in your mind, you will see how your difficulties will naturally dissolve. And then you will really understand the power of the deity. So also with regard to receiving the empowerment, I always tell people that it is good to receive many empowerments, and especially also an empowerment like this today. Disciples from all over the world receive this empowerment over the internet, and actually they can all receive this empowerment. And that is not because I possess great blessings, but it is because the blessings of the wisdom being, the deity, is all pervasive like space. And so therefore the empowerment is conferred wherever there is space pervades, like raindrops falling down. So the empowerment is not only conferred by having placed the vase onto your crown. What is most important in order to receive the empowerment is the compassion of the guru and also the devotion, the faith of the disciple. And then you receive the empowerment. So therefore, wherever you are today, from whichever place you receive the empowerment, everyone really can receive today's empowerment. Then I read the history of the empowerment. Yeah, that's fine. So the history of Ushnisha Vijaya. And this goddess is the essence of the victorious Amitayos. However, in order to make accomplishment easy without practicing secret mantra, it is taught that one should rely upon the Dharani mantra made by this goddess. Furthermore, when the Bhagavan Shakyamuni was residing in Indra's fine Dharma god realm, there was one called Devaputra the Brave. He became attached to the enjoyments of the gods and gave no thought to death. One night he heard a voice saying, "After 7 days you will die. Then you will take birth as 7 types of beings. Even if you are born as a human, you will be blind and impoverished." When he heard this, he became extremely terrified and besieged his father Indra Kaushika. With his clairvoyance, Indra could see that his son would die and then successively take birth as a dog, a fox, a monkey, a snake, a vulture, a crow, a blind man, and so forth. Having seen this, Indra quickly picked up a collection of offerings, offered them to the Bhagavan, and prostrated to him. Praying that the Buddha would help Devaputra, Indra requested a method to liberate from suffering. From the crown protuberance of the Bhagavan, light radiated. It illuminated the world, and the light disappeared into the Buddha's mouth. As soon as this happened, the Buddha said, "This mantra of Ushnisha Vijaya completely clears away the lower realms." At that time, even the Lord of Death, King of Dharmas, rejoiced. Ushnisha Vijaya promised to protect sentient beings who possess this mantra. Devaputra then became one of the long-lived gods. The door to the lower realms was closed. The enlightenment of the Bhagavan was foretold. His enlightenment was foretold by the Bhagavan. The Ushnisha endowed with these qualities belongs to the Tathagata family of the Kriya Tantra. As soon as the Dharani mantra is uttered, all the Buddhas will guard and protect one's lifespan from being exhausted or shortened. The abodes of the lower realms will be emptied, and the door to the pure realm of Sukhavati will be opened. All will be born there, and so forth. It is taught that there are limitless benefits.
Om Veda Sadhu Samaya Manapalaya Veda Sadhu Tinova Tijatino Mibava Sattakayo Mibava Sabbajayo Mibava Adarato Mibava Sarva Siddha Meparayata Sava Karma Siddha Me Siddham Chiyam Kuru Hung Ha Ho Bangavya Sava Tathagata Veda Mame Minta Veda Bava Mahasa Sadhu Masava Tathagata Abhikshikata Sama Jiraye Om Bhaya Tata Om Bhaya Om Soba Vajada Savat Soba Vajada Om Vajada Jara Tomanga Ora Soma Bojano Jajavanam Janado Maho Yuare Soma Tomanga Tobami Basabami Medeva Jivanji Chedamana Vasada Yama Jomaga Moga Adeya Nebena Duda Oma Awam Bezo Maga Moga Domana Ade Nebena Oma Awam Bezo Maga Moga Adeya Nebena Duda Oma Awam Bezo Namada Gada Awalo, Ome Sambara, Namada
아와로에 그대오며 삼바라 홍나마도 바다다 아와로에 그대오며 삼바라 하고 좀지지 비조바를 지목라 섭달라 비조바 좀지도 바라다 비조바 그 전에라 상달라 비조바 조바 탐지다 오도도 바라라 상살로 강제가 뭐 좋아해 좀 뭐로다 자다다도 뭐야야다 semjena bana do da ju je ke ba thone da ga de la to ma ne do wa jan la bu do ne je je mo da ga chu ba de ya ku de ba sam ba ju wa da ga su je na pe be san de je ba je de ne chu ju de mo je ya sa do na to ba chu de ba ko la je ba ko je ho ke byong de ya da je a de ju je me je ka ya me so la ko ja je la ga lu la pe lo je la de ba ma je 전부 저거 가다면 르랑 먼저 집에 내자도 소주나 도주나 그래서 내가 사와받아 사다는 게 엄마서 바나 홍 하나 봐야 홍 안에 호 봐봐 봐야라 엄마서 바나 홍 봐야 홍 안에 호 봐가 봐야라 사원님하고 다 말해서 소통제도 척좀 봐봐라서 어떤 거 돈지 건다 해야는 날로 어떻게 돈지 사이로고 소통도지 돈지 다와지 못하가 되다가 바탕도 돈지 나에 더 서로 돈지라고 돼서 시점에 뭐 바탕에 바탕 버진다 도와 그냥 진짜 제와 좀 베다 바와 베다 딱하라 비다라 바다라 잘하도록 좀 섬정 베다도 어머로 홍 다 고와도 나카다냐 베심지 담지 물론 고와시 봐도 다지 정도와리 애들이 다지 메나 다지니 베도 또 그러랬지 대회나 동네 탐지가 나와 다지 동네 말이 다지도는 종시 대회들이 뒤 탐지게 다다면자라 또좀 직진 풀고 와지 직진 가면 내가 심지 탐지 다지는 뛰는 고와 차지 제 탐지 다지지 가자 랑그 다지는 뭐 찍바에 찍바에 베들 랑게들이 탐지 로그 존의 제 탐지 다지자 부르요 그래라 뭐 단념지 서로 직진 나게 심지 탐지 야부요 sana 이 사지 탐지가 이핑 로드들이 잘 잡아봐봐나 저라가 톱송 사들 메라가 돈다 되래 대사람들이 메라를 보래 이게 그들이 편의역 사람 메라 사지 붙지 donc
So then next we come to the mandala offering. That is the purpose of that is that there's limitless sentient beings, as limitless as space, and that sentient beings exist because they grasp at a self, and so this is what makes samsara appear. If there is no grasping at a self, then one naturally abides within a state of non-duality. There's no distinction between self and others. So the root of all suffering is self-grasping. All suffering without exception comes from wishing for one's own happiness. So when we make this offering of a mandala, we bring to mind the billionfold universe and all the sentient beings and offer it all up. And that is, we bring to mind all the self-grasping of sentient beings, which has created samsara, and offer it up. And the self-grasping of all beings and one's own self-grasping in essence are exactly the same. So you bring it all to mind and you offer it all up, along with the entire universe and all that exists within that universe is all offered up to the Buddhas, and in return think that the Buddhas offer their altruism that all beings then receive. So thinking in this way, please offer a mandala. So Rinpoche said we also can do it in English.
프바잡제더니 교수님들 상제 탑제 또 남발점만 또 임베더니 나카를 좀 홍제도 요요서 대티디는 다소 왔다고요. 나 와서 왔다가 니들제 와인.
So then, having offered the mandala, now think that all the Buddhas appear, Buddhas of the 3 times appear in the sky before you, in the center of which is Ushnisha Vijaya, and then they all gather around her like clouds in the sky, and think that in their presence you receive the empowerment. So next we will repeat the supplication.
Garchen, Yeshi, Pongboji, Siba, Koro, Namjongwa, Tereng, Shepa, Rinpoche, Zowo, Dala, Garchen.
In English, embodiment of omniscient wisdom, who utterly purifies the wheel of existence, compassionately grant me the empowerment of the exalted deity today.
느끼지 사도 남제 종도 잡설로제 득바샤바다 기와라 이세여랑아 사총초도 선지가 당 기와다 정부 산초도 홍화데 이런 거 혼로 중장안 남다 지벨레데 데제지도 권쇼 somla 다잠치 덱바 메게 소소르샤 로웨 게라 지랑 상제 장처 이지성 상제 규당 송초라 장처 바르드 다잠치 랑이 동이 랍럽서 장첩 셋네 띠바지 장첩 초크리 셋네 띠비네 심지 탐지 낙기 롱더일 장첩 쫌초 이용 깨빠지 로라 펜서 상제 럽바르쇼.
I take refuge in the 3 jewels and confess all unvirtues and harmful deeds, I rejoice in the virtues of all beings and shall hold the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas dear to my heart until attaining enlightenment. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. I shall give rise to bodhicitta, having given rise to the Supreme Mind of Enlightenment. I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the Supreme Bodhisattva conduct that is pleasing to all. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings.
아니 지디디 갑니 왕내지 지등 토고요 당부 릉아 예선하고 또 세부라왕 토고요 세부라왕도 토고 강에 다지나 잘그베나 아니 사축 생기디 지디 제법가서 오 당연히 생기는 핑고 산이 로디 생을 샷니들 많이지 유케리지나 오 당연히 케리데 제요 산이 뒤박차데 전으로는这是生病屁股人什么？这大地的桥龙起来的，晓得我的，生过了往这里通过的，你都给全部的。
And so this is actually how we actually obtain the freedom, the empowerment, and that is through the repetition, the supplication, understanding its meaning. Of the body, speech, and mind, the mind is most important. So most importantly, we must obtain freedom of the mind. And that is when we let go of self-grasping and give rise to bodhicitta, and then we attain the freedom of the mind. So now during repeating that supplication, what comes to mind is, may I be of benefit to sentient beings. So that is what we say. And then we remember what we said. I have taken this commitment. I promise to benefit sentient beings. And so that imprint then always remains in your mind. And each time it arises in your mind, you remember this, the ice block of self-grasping is melting. And so this is how you really obtain the freedom of the mind. And that is why the meaning of these repetitions these applications that we repeat is very important.
별로다다 상제생 진이요래 우선 로아를 둘러 하짝 등에 치고 무슨 여기 차차 옆에 등에 요래 얘는 사지 좀 뒤게 심기 넘는 상제니 심기 삼지 상제를 라요래 그 같이 그 태통점 찍어요 말 사지 요미 시요 말 사지 매대당 타지고요래 말이 심기 요미 샘딜라 사지 그 심기 상지 나디 차요래 상지 저도 나디도 달성을 상지에 차롱데 철에데 사지가 되라버다 차롱데 철에 장소 치보는 상지 것도 장소 치보는 줄에 장소 요정 이요 말이지 상지 마보 세면 님에스 저도 당직이 나디 자공적으로는 레다 박차 차들이 저도 나디의 적은 차롱데 철에 주지 요나 상지 상계지요래 대라요래 대가 제삼 못하면 들이 동들이 고트고 요래 심지 삼지 상계 작롱데 쉐야요래 대 상계가 돼서 뒤고아찬 오 상계지 용이 시하고 그래 상계 삼지 대다로 삼 못한다 인핑이 로인데 상계부 탑 초대된 인핑이 로래 삼네 들이 지득긴 땅을 내줘버리 지지요래 대외대 인핑으로도 답보자 듣고요래 대다 보자서는 챈데라지 못 찾고요래 저 처럼 처만하지 못 찾고요래 인핑으로도 답보자 마시나 협정만 보지는 비도요 말 다지니 요리 정도 능력이라지 자공 양당 자공 차로나 자공 투바자 그래 대다와서 고고를 왕문이 들이 톱고 그랬지
So now on the conventional level, there are Buddhas and there are sentient beings. And sentient beings anywhere in the 6 realms of samsara experience much suffering. And that is related to their physical, their material bodies of flesh, blood and bones. So the suffering really is related to our physical form. And at the same time, we hear that the Buddha said, actually all sentient beings are Buddhas. So some people have some doubts about that. They wonder whether we really are Buddhas, whether there are real Buddhas or not. And then there is some who are certain that there is no Buddhas, we are not Buddhas. So the Buddhas, what they have taught us is, if you separate yourself, if you let go of this grasping at a self, then you are a Buddha. So basically what they are saying is, ice by nature is water. The mind of all the Buddhas is like the vast ocean. The ocean is there, but there is no duality. There's no division in the ocean. And likewise, there is no division in the mind. There's no duality in the mind. So the Buddhas are saying your mind is like a block of ice. And it has become like that due to the karmas you have accumulated and the habitual tendencies you have formed. But then there is a way to melt that ice. There is a way for that ice to transform into water. So what they are saying is that although now you are a sentient being, you have the potential to attain enlightenment. So if we really think about this and understand the meaning, what we get from this is that we learn that all sentient beings have the potential to attain enlightenment. And then the method to attain enlightenment is the altruistic mind. That is the single sufficient method to attain enlightenment. And if you only trust in that, you have really understood karma, cause and effect. If you understand this, you will be able to sustain altruism. And then you will be happy in this life and in all future lives to come. If you do not sustain altruism, even if you study for many years, if you study a lot, it is really useless, because for as long as you perceive a duality, you divide between self and other, you will remain like a block of ice. And so as we are ice blocks, when ice blocks come into each other, bump into each other, there's always conflict. So that will continue. And so with that understanding, you should receive the empowerment.
네 인체는 동화 도망을 남래 난 놀라니 사조서 찍고 검 조바 파시 조 찍고 장들이 상제를 요래지 다디 미체를 상하를 답람 체적 리적 상제거나 릉안이 생랑 토들 릉안이 당지 박차지 답었어도 다들이 르사고냐던 안에 거기서 거기광도 성공이 대상하를 제발한데 다들이 꼭꼭 족하다 성마다 족하 대그 탑지다 상하를 가가리 상하를 제출했지.
So then the method to attain enlightenment is the path of the sutras and the tantras. According to the sutra path, we practice bodhicitta and we engage in the conduct of the 6 paramitas and then gradually attain enlightenment throughout several lifetimes. And the secret mantra, the Vajrayana, is a method to attain enlightenment within a single lifetime, a single body. So if one wishes to attain enlightenment in a single lifetime, one must attain the freedom of the mind, but also we still have those imprints of body and speech. So although with bodhicitta, like in the sutra path, we attain freedom of the mind, we still have those imprints of body and speech. And so the secret mantra provides a special method to purify these, and therefore we attain enlightenment in a single lifetime. So with our bodies, we visualize the form of the deity, we obtain the form empowerment. With our speech, recite the mantra, we receive the speech empowerment, and so on. So that is the special feature, the special characteristic of the secret mantra, the Vajrayana.
니와는 반도르디 바코통 통제선합 삼지서 나온 것이와 도도도와데 바데 제대로 로빠 공서서 Dala, Chomdinde, Doctor, Number, Jarme, Kosong, Tokyo, Jisa, Nawa, Sardo,
And then in order to receive the actual empowerment, please repeat the following. Master, please think of me. Please bestow upon me the empowerment of body, speech, and mind of the Bhagavati, Ushnisha Vijaya.
Sarasip Jakwe, Jinanga Tondo Sova, the Bambe, Jibindo, Boji, Zimba, Gong So So, Dane, Drola, Pindong Zochi, Chula, Sondepji, Chaje, Yishi, Jitaso.
In order to receive the specific empowerment of the body, please repeat the following. Vajra holder, please think of me. I supplicate you, exalted guide, in order to benefit wayfaring beings, please cause the wisdom mudra to arise.
다 소속이란 게 요거 몇장 바지 르나와 샤를 르데 내는 처마 풀다 받을 거는 매봐 시공적으로 그러는데 이 생각을 이게 름지 이게 자 름지 받으랬더니 이게 이 가령나 자태요 거를 름시를 다지 이게 세우들이 오셔보들이 저중적 권들이 좋거든요. 내는 시간은 마음이 잡아나게 들을 선택이 왜 봤대 들이 생마행 바지 내 오래서
So then next, do not think of your body at all, of whether it is here or not here, but just think that your body becomes like mist, some complete nothingness, or becomes pure like a crystal vase, and that is completely empty. And think that within that crystal vase, there is the nature of your mind that manifests as the seed syllable drum or brum. You can visualize that in any language, like in English script and so on. That doesn't matter, but the sound is the drum syllable that is radiant and luminous inside your body, this crystal vase form of your body, like a butter lamp, like a candle flame inside your body. Focus on that single-pointedly and without distraction.
드니 지서 맥치버 가비더니 남자 먹고 바오는 람들다 들때면 산이자 꽃들람은 생맥처럼 꽃들 세비처럼도 이게 름지 찍고 싸움도 주고 오면 찍딱 말이 이게 좀 뒤들이 이렇게 요래 오체 보더니 마까지는 이게 름역대 맞지나 이렇게 요래더니 니가 곰나 떼와라 곰나 가고는 제발요 말이 니네 진삼이 떼와라 곰나 약실에
So then you close your eyes and visualize the seed syllable. And then later, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. At once, look at the picture of Ushnisha Vijaya. And then have that appear in your mind. And then also, later after you have died, it will appear in your mind at once. And so if the whole entire deity, like in the picture, does not appear in your mind, that is fine. You can just visualize the seed syllable. Do not think about either the existence or non-existence of your physical body. Just think that there is this big mass of light, has only this light, a light body, and within that there is that seed syllable. So also later, when we recite the mantra, if there is too much to the mantra, you can just visualize the seed syllable drum. So it is most important that you don't forget about the drum syllable, and you can visualize it either at the level of your heart or at the navel chakra. If you have some issues with kind of emotional or heart, being unwell in the heart area, then it is better to visualize at the navel. So you have this image of Ushnisha Vijaya in your book. So first you close your eyes, have this image ready in your hands, and then later I ask you open your eyes, and then at once you look at this image of Ushnisha Vijaya, and then again close your eyes and have this image appear in your mind. And repeat this again and again, thinking of the deity with great faith. And then eventually there will be a vague image begin to appear in your mind. And when that appears, then all ordinary thoughts and habitual tendencies naturally dissolve. And so as you keep practicing the deity, when you reach a point where you never, there is never a moment where you do not think of the deity, when it's always in your mind, that is the time when you accomplish the deity.
Om Bele da 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 Om Be Om Soba Vajuda Soba Ma Soba Vajuda Wang No Mani De Jo Tom Bagane Na Sopi Mata Da Ve Deng Do Pamle Number Javan Chudi Pamja Chudi Japam Bagusta Da Sopi Bada Da Ve Dena Jum
So page 18, 18.
Drum Gapo Yoto Jabali, Romano, Total number Jamakundo, Jaraka, Boy, Young Hombo. I see some Nagawachi, Mamcha, the Batayana, the Jimabona, Bobby, and Dacho, Yoji, Bear, the Javaja, Majaba. Baden, Bad, other Moji, to make him a water cup and 20, but yes, and just so. Carabo, yo, Bema, Yang, you the son of the Joba, yo, Bala, the Vedoji, the Moji, Jimba. The Josh of the Mayo, Yera, the Rono, the Jay, the Hoji, yo, Basang, the Boji. Ye Dorje Jagang, Saya Jagang, you would think so, Chiang, about James, you Jagat, Majame, Jabata, Combaja, the Botla, but you Jim Bas, or Mr. somebody just liable, you just think about what on the community Manakuta. So I was to separate them, but I got all on the armor when you go home, what is when I she's supposed to get a Dutch about Dotino Kawabana. Romana knows the Marjuba Meba, so what only come better Yazabara. Better Samaya Jana Avijaya. He bought in his own part of the apartment, your timbers of them about the barge, Taki in Senacopala, young to Ta. They moved the drum day on the word.
So now open your eyes and look at the image of the deity, and then repeat this. Look at this image again and again, but most importantly, think of the syllable drum.
Rinpoche 사오요 저석이 와보다 와가 사랭아 임예사 조스마도 뭐 초도 좀 화해는 만들겠는 거 제로 베다 베밤자데도 베다 베밤자데도 온베다 알로감바데도 온베다 근데 바데도 온베다 네베데 바데도야소 도제 진짜 선일로 로지베 제도 오는 거 되게 저다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다다dadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadada 다시 죽어서 저 도마도 저 저를 도마는 저 도마는 저 소저서 사이에 받아 모노서 도마도 도도 저기 어디라도 뭐 내가 가이면 도고 걸어도 뭐 참배 저 막아 봐서 요즘 저기 드디 교육가 와서 내가 와서 손만로 원거 뭐 왕고도 제제모데 어강은 뭐여서 사제군 요사선다 내내송과 전바서 오면서 와다다 가다 베케가데 삼마야제레에 오면서 와다다 가다 베케가데 삼마야제레에 그 범퍼쳐도 제가 동네 제가 저쪽 잃어버려 몇 바지 강으로니 남칼이 차바바다를 너희가 차바 사탐제들이 때 감정 생긴 던지 저쪽으로 잡아만 같이 되니 저들이 루용도 사랑매 바 강송 몇 바지에다 온 거예요.
So then when you receive the vase nectar in the palm of your hand, drink half of that nectar and the other half I can place it, wipe it onto your crown, the top of your crown. And at that time, visualize that this nectar is the rain of nectar that flows down from all the deities abiding in space. And think that this shower of nectar enters the central channel through the crown of all sentient beings in the three realms of samsara and fills up their bodies, rendering their bodies transparent, losing any sense of outer and inner.
배다 고베드티 주지절류 탑지 강점마 탑지 다 쳐열마 제대 저발을 이게도 뭐 저하는 거 뭐지 로보제 토고 사원주 오제고 왕가라요 고제 지랑을 로보 밥을 먹었는데 뭐도 보통 와서 여러분도 제대로 고모도 봐서 사지 빼마지 반납에 제가 와는 이제 이거 다시 또 뭐 다시 무슨 또 봤던 될 좋대다 고래 따라 지서 남의 르지고는 싹바 드마 박차 되지다 제바다 그 지서 남아 말리바 톱 르라이 제른 나동 송조거를 먹고 말아 왕저거 저거 까바지도 세바야 노소
Being thus initiated, all defilements accumulated through the body and the habitual tendencies of grasping at them are purified, and you have received a complete form empowerment. You are now empowered to visualize your body as the deity, the union of appearance and emptiness. As a result, you are endowed with the fortune to accomplish the Nirmanakaya.
성구지 당가도 소와다 반대지 도제 zemba 공서솔 다네 로라 피동더 하지 왕골 이시체 무저
Then in order to receive the speech empowerment, please repeat the following. Vajra holder, please think of me in order to benefit wayfaring beings. Please impart the great wisdom of the mantra empowerment that bestows all accomplishments.
나도 무섭더라 나라도 사건되는 조거를 왜 마마되는 조거를 왜 좋았어요. 사 사디 곰니 마디 다고지 사디 곰 탕치 곰 두고요 말이 그리고 사디 곰니 딱 마디 자다 벨을 좀 멈춰다고 저 세세 멈춰다고 세세 사디 곰 그리스는 하 되고 사디 심시는 하 통하지 고르들이 돼你这把这鸡人家几个过来的有人没的了你基本上是这个身体结啊对吧南部那炸的高级上来我们把这到了这里我们找到做的这个把卡他可以的这是啊无声着过马克着过来的这马就找那找大坡路上个几步这个有平不要门아미지 와서 엄마니 비병 잡다라 로르들이 설명서 오는 마을 잡도 제대로 마마고 다고 동대래 사실 유는 보지야 매가 차고래 되게 상무스 잡고는 마가 잡고래
So for now here it says the wisdom that comes from the mantra that bestows all accomplishments. So the accomplishment of the deity comes from the mantra recitation. And so actually often when people ask me, is it okay if I just meditate on the deity, I just visualize the deity and I don't recite the mantra? The thing with mantra recitation is that we do, it is sufficient to only think of the deity, but if we don't recite the mantra, then we are unable actually to always meditate on the deity. The mind will grow tired and we are unable to always think of the deity. So there's a certain number of mantras to be accumulated for each deity. For example, for Tara, we say that we should accumulate 1,000,000 Tara mantras. And while we do that, we should focus on the deity single-pointedly. We visualize the deity, we visualize the mantra garland, the wheel of Tara, and so on, single-pointedly. So while we recite the mantra, at the same time, we are also directing our minds single-pointedly to the deity. So it supports us to direct our minds single-pointedly in order to progress through the 4 branches of accomplishing the deity. That is the approach, and the close approach, the accomplishment, the great accomplishment. So we practice the deity for a very long time, so that in the end, the deity always remains in our mind. We never forget about the deity. And that is the time when we accomplish the deity. And then the deity is always there. For example, when you hear the sound of a jet plane, for example, immediately the mantra comes to your mind. It is always there. So in this way, we are actually purifying our habitual tendencies of body and speech. And so when we recite the mantra, it is also important to recite it very clearly, to announce it very clearly and precisely. And we should not only focus on the number. If we only quickly recite the certain number of mantras, it is of not much benefit. But actually we should recite it very clearly. For example, Om Ami Deva Shri or Om Mani Padme Hum. Because if you announce clearly, if you pronounce the syllables clearly, then also naturally your mind will be clear. So that is actually the reason why we have to recite so many mantras, a certain number of mantras. It is so that we never forget about the deity, if we focus for this entire duration single-pointedly. So that is why we say we accomplish the deity on the basis of mantra recitation.
Dari rāga ngāpshāng ngā dībāti rāga drunga tāla dari ngāpshāng tōp sōng tā dari tā ngā dīgbōti dari jīdi chēgare.
And so next we will repeat the mantra, and during that time visualize that from the deities abiding in space, a rain shower of mantra syllables descends down. And as you repeat the mantra, think that it enters your speech, and the short mantra of the deity then descends down to your drum syllable that you have visualized, and it begins to circle around the drum syllable. So now think that each of you have received the short mantra around the drum syllable. So for the repeating, we will repeat the medium length mantra.
Om Te.
Om Amite.
Tu Bhave.
Amritum Bhave.
Amrita Bhatinte.
Amrita Potente.
Amrita
Amrita
Gate.
Gate.
Amrita
Amrita
Gamana.
Gamana.
Amrita
Amrita
Ayadade Soha.
Ayatata Soha.
Om Amrite.
Om Amite.
Amritu Bhave.
Amrito Bhave.
Amrita Bhatinte.
Amrita Potente.
Amrita Gate.
Amrita Gate.
Amrita Gamana.
Amrita Gamana.
Amrita
Amrita
Ayadade
Ayatate
Soha.
Soha.
No Amrite.
Amrite.
Amritu Bhave.
Amrito Bhave.
Amrita Bhatinte.
Amrita Potente.
Amrita Gate.
Amrita Gate.
Amrita Gamana.
Amrita Gapana.
Amrita
Amrita
Ayadade Soha.
Ayatata Soha.
Ngā Rinpoche, Jibala. Om Drum Soha, Amrita Ayadade Soha, Amrita Ayadade Soha, Ngā Jibala. Gom Tulti, Ngā Jibati, Dokotara Gomna Chokuyorti, Pitagona Yore.
So that just was the medium length mantra. Then the short mantra is Om Drum Soha, Om Amrita Ayantate Soha. So if it is difficult to recite or think of the medium length mantra, you can also think of the short mantra. And that short mantra you can also find in your sadhana. Which page? On page 30, 29. Huh? Oh, 29 is medium on the bottom, and 30 is the short one on top. Chomden,
Daki,
Daki,
Zonglaki,
Songlaki,
Bala,
Dala,
Govar,
Govar,
Zetoso, Tumbe, Dalaja, Dalagova, the Hajagonda, the Leja, the Juktima, the Zon, Telezo, the Raja Rambeda, you never to be Mayova. The Children of Rajaram Choba, Chujeta, Chicken and Chiziva, telling you think about touching you bow. Touching Potom and the Yacht, Jesus knowing. I will go and support the map of chat at this Jibata. So we Jesus know Maliba talk, I general some heart talk from sugar about Dawala one. They were long to the Bakabachi the Sebaya.
Being thus initiated, all defilements accumulated with speech and the habitual tendencies of grasping at them are purified, and you have received the complete speech empowerment. You are now empowered to recite the deity's secret mantra, the union of sound and emptiness. As a result, you are endowed with the fortune to accomplish the Sambhogakaya. Then we take a break for 30 minutes, and during this time you can recite the short mantra of Ushnisha Vijaya. clearly like a rainbow in the sky, but it lacks any substantial the illusory form of the deity. The form is there, it clearly appears, but like an illusion or like a rainbow in the sky. So that is the appearance emptiness. And then the same is for the sound. When there is no grasping at form or sound, then also naturally the mind remains pure, undiluted. Then we will not give rise to any thoughts of attachment or aversion with regard to any object that we perceive. And so also with regard to speech, sound is empty. By reciting the mantra, we are purifying the habitual imprints of the speech, or these habitual ways of perceiving speech. And so the difference here is, and that's important to understand, is that when we engage in samsaric activities with our body or speech, then we are actually creating more habitual tendencies in our mind. And if you really understand the power of secret mantra, you understand that the difference is that when you recite the mantra and visualize the deity, instead of placing more imprints into your mind, you're actually purifying those ordinary samsaric habitual tendencies of grasping or perceiving form and sound. So then when you understand this difference, you will see the benefit of practice. You will gain an actual experience of how it is of benefit and how you're purifying these habitual tendencies of perception.
그냥 독지 지난 거 정도 소바다 반대 지도 도제 zemba 공서서 다네 로라 핀도다 바보 도제 롭불지 롬초
In order to receive the mind empowerment, please repeat the following. Vajra holder, please think of me in order to benefit wayfaring beings. Courageous Vajra master, please cause the samadhi of the Supreme Mind to arise.
저는 이좀더 소프트도 넘버 좀 먹고 또 예미도 좀 하면 보는 게 다 되겠는데 나 말 좋아서 이제 들리다가 토고 왕디라 남칸에 사탐지들이 꽃집차 지와르랍다 총알을 용접점 중중들이 카바바바는 게 탐지를 탐송 송용접들이 송다다랑 아지려와 라는 탐이요래 다 들이다 톡을 대탐지 탐마다들이란 게 세물들이 라는 세물내로 쳤대나 들이 로인 초땡인지 생물왕왕이 생물 따라 들이다 대답을 공부돼서 막 겁나 들이 세물가에 차송들이 탐말박자 또 다시 파다래 들이 샘때지가 때나들이 사람 또 심기게 시바세 뭐지 다 곰자고 곰들 강에 인공지요 말이 들이 다다 랑게 생물 내로 제가 다 왔다고 론 초대들이 다다 그런 이선배 시송 들이 이시디 다다 남발 시바지 남도 공항도 손도래 들이 남도 공 심피 시바지 남도 때문에 남도 공 심피 시바지 뭐지 시바지 딱 빠르요래 내 봐요 마음 받았다요 시바지 딱 빠르데 들이 시바지가 남도 망보고 것이 남도 봐야 남도 철납는 게잖아 들이 시바지 무슨 소나 다 시바지랑 왕 통네 들이 남도 있어 장손들이 라왕 손도거래 나도 지선마다 시바라 적다면 나도 동방일인 저도 쳐달라거든. 그 지념 노트들이 또 다다 원자 신이 탑지가 검자를 하면 이게 연구요래. 내가 뭐봐 탑지나 세부처럼 다 세부처럼 떼어가더니 나도 강세 심층 시바지 요래 나도 먹고 살아 심층 시바지 진거고요. 시바지 딱 벌어서 정네 나도 파요야 시바지 딱 벌어 내거요. 그런 얘기들이 나도 지선 장당만 장하면 토고요. 시바지 도망은 진거래. 시바지들이 내부터 방가 망번도 맞지 된지 말하더니 라지가 참잖아. 나도 매번 쳤는데 시바지라고 이거래. 나도 직접 매나야. 나도 요나 모시기도 나도 매나 코나 이건도 없대. 본전 매봐, 롱 매봐. 들티 뭐 공부를 나갔다가 차연 거래. 들티들 따라다 곰대 다잖아. 들hla가 투게당. 들이 주로 배주 기회신이 다지 타바 선바집 가야 찌찌를 곰으로 가자도 그래. 지금 바지를 내고 곰지 통통 되자 그래.
So now during the we come to the mind empowerment, and so first during the speech empowerment we have visualized all those deities in space, and then deities descend down, some as large as Mount Meru and some as small as mustard seed, like raindrops falling down or snowflakes falling down, and then they permeate the entire universe with seed syllables. And so think that in this way you have received the power of the mantra. And then when we now receive the mind empowerment, we need to directly look at the natural state of the mind, the nature of the mind. So here we have just said the Supreme Mind, please cause the samadhi of the Supreme Mind to arise. And so that Supreme Mind is the free mind, the mind that has attained freedom. And so if you know how to visualize the deity, if you can meditate on the deity, then look at what appears in your mind. The deity appears within your own mind. And that appearance naturally purifies the ordinary habitual tendencies within your mind. So in the mind empowerment, we should look at the mind single-pointedly and directly. And here you should recognize that clear mind, that mind that recognizes, the awareness that recognizes whatever there arises in the mind, whatever thoughts arise. And so now we have to meditate. And so there is no object of meditation actually, apart from just viewing the mind as it is. And that is the Supreme Mind. It is the non-dual primordial awareness. Now, in the dualistic context, we refer to it as the consciousness, the dualistic consciousness, that is when we are controlled by our thoughts, we follow our thinking. But here, when we receive the mind empowerment, we should see that awareness that recognizes all those thoughts that arise. And not focus on the thoughts, but focus on the awareness that recognizes them. And that is always there. It always has been there in the past, and it will always be there in the future. It is always there, and it recognizes whatever arises in the mind. So that is the one that you need to recognize. And when you recognize that, then naturally all thoughts dissipate just like waves on water. And you attain the freedom of the mind. On the other hand, if you follow those thoughts that arise, then you will become controlled by these thoughts. So if you just let them be, without following them, just recognizing them, they will naturally dissolve just like waves on the water. So those of you who know how to meditate, just meditate now at this time, and then meditation just happens naturally. And beginning practitioners, look at your mind directly and try to see that awareness that recognizes all the thoughts and all the emotions that arise in the mind. So that is the one, that awareness must be recognized and then sustained. So always pay attention to that awareness that is always there, and let go of the various thoughts arising in the mind. Because the thoughts, they come and they go, but there is this underlying awareness that always remains. It never comes and goes. And if you recognize that, you attain control over your mind, and you're not controlled by your thoughts. So first, you should recognize this recognizing awareness. And so sometimes you will see that there is a space between thoughts when there is no past thoughts have stopped and future thoughts have not yet arisen. Sometimes just naturally you can glimpse into this space between the thoughts, the thought-free mind. And there is this clear knowing awareness that is always there, even if there is no thoughts. So when there are thoughts, then there is this awareness that recognizes thoughts, and when there are no thoughts, it still remains there naturally, always unchanging, never comes and never goes, just like space. So now at this point we will meditate a bit, and because our minds are actually one, we Dharma friends can also help one another through our meditation and receive the blessings of the deity. And so when we meditate together, helping each other, a great power can be generated. So now at this point, for the mind empowerment, we will do a brief meditation.
근데도 막 그지도 버라지 서울하다 마다 하와이 주변에 소재 결혼 고사시다 빠지지 Then you think about I some about the bottom of it and the John, the Jesus name. The good is about the map, chat and dinner give a talk, took the Jesus on Mariba top. Same like took the room, just up on some sugar about one. They were too good about you to say by you know.
Being thus initiated, all defilements accumulated with mind and the habitual tendencies of grasping at them are purified, and you have received a complete mind empowerment. You are now empowered to cultivate the nature of the deity's mind, the union of clarity and emptiness. As a result, you are endowed with the fortune to accomplish the Dharmakaya.
Took the one that easy one is about the map of chat and did give a task. Trama, dinner, that the same to sour me by not all on dinner to drug over the trama. Take it, you won't go out to some kind of the bakchade, the quantity, child and you know what the quantity take it and you have a letter on your three territory, something child or take child or it. Then that the same start on what the Thompson, not all times. It's a Mazina, same now Kanaji, same now because I was talking, Sar Dong, so Hako, you may Hako and out. Dong, the Turtle Taket or the Mary, now Kanaji, chapter, Sanaman, Haname. That the woman Tawalas of Patani, Tassom Generated Trackers, that's to take you over. Tassom Machandra, Yiga Hakona, Tassom, same Kanashi, Taki. Takku my one Nakata red. Nakata, she was out in the old. She was out in Napo and Zina Senator Chawati, Jogging out. Madi Yayanati Nakata in the Roman Sanatri, Chukan Nakata verde. This Tata Kwa took you. She coated in a young young Nam daughter, don't have new shop choker. Did it come down later about her? There is some sort of in her son draw. Then, did it take a 담복하고 요래. 공시 이마 심사동을 랩송들이 대화라 맞춰 등을라. 네밤이와 세열도 등해오나 sem네밤이와 초밤이와 이 sem코랑 속도도 다 sem거랑 그래 되지 좋고 요래. 대통령들이 신도 남파다를 시주메가 하고 요래. 이 처음에 베른 데도 이 처음에 이 하고 자송다고 이 괜찮다고 도지고 드리더라. 나동 거도지에 제름게 루트 나동 자송다고 저 작동 속도지에 작성되는 저 밤에가 나는 저 동 톡도지에 그래서 거다 송이 왕톡을 동 톡도지에 있네. 잘라면지 적라면지나 나동 잘라면지 작동 저바람 이거 뭐 봐요. 네 소리 해요. 말이지. 맞이 야자들 공시디 밤에 막 엄청나. 이 점마다 땡진서 하고 토요래. 하자 그바통 다 쳐보요래. 그런 거랑 털럭도 하고 요래. 그런 거는 털때는 막 공거래. 고용 또지. 다부지 동저고. 그렇지 양진용 이마시도 또된 포절매 받으리 또 관나파도 포절매죠. 이 가능한 애들이 괜찮 탐절이 야망아와 들이 말하리 바나지 문이 차 두고 요래.
So now we just have said during the mind empowerment, it is the we are purifying the defilements accumulated with the mind and the habitual tendencies of grasping at them. So these defilements here, these stains, these are the obscurations that make our mind be unclear. And when the mind is unclear, when it is dull, then it follows naturally all the thoughts that arise. It is thinking. And that thinking mind, that is the obscured mind. That is the stain, the defilements. And that has become a habit. We have habituated to a certain way of thinking. We have habituated to cling to our thoughts. We just follow the thoughts that arise. We have habituated to our emotions that arise, and then we act out on them with our body and speech. And this is what has caused our mind to become like a block of ice in samsara. This is what creates samsara. So now when you look at your mind and you see, when you look at your mind as it is, you see the nature of mind is clear. It has a clear conscious mind that is empty. And then when you see that, you will see all the thoughts that arise like clouds in the sky. So we call the nature of the mind clear and empty. So here we have said it is the union of clarity and emptiness, the nature of the deity's mind. Clarity means that there is a clear knowing mind, and you're aware of anything that appears. There is a clarity of consciousness. But then it is empty, so it is not an object of investigation. It is like space, all pervasive. There is no outer and no inner. So in the beginning, when we still have many doubts about this nature, then we do require some analysis of investigating the mind in order to clarify those doubts. But if you're free of doubts, then there is no need to analyze. The mind is not an object of analysis or investigation because it abides like space. So although it is empty like space, there still is this clear awareness that recognizes. And if you begin to cling to the thoughts that arise, then just naturally the mind is in an unclear state. That is what we call obscured. The mind is obscured by all those various feelings that arise from the thinking mind. So that obscures the mind. Actually, the mind is dharmakaya, abiding like space. So it is something that we first must understand. And once we understand that, we also must experience it again and again by putting it into practice. So that is when a very powerful thought arises, when we suffer, we are in pain. And then you should meditate. Then you look at the mind that is clear and empty. And the thought, the feeling will disappear. And that is difficult in the beginning, but once you have habituated, you have trained the mind in that again and again, eventually all of these feelings will just collapse as they arise. And then there is no attachment to a pleasure, and there is no fear of pain. Nothing affects you in any way. You have no feeling, no reaction with regard to whatever arises. The mind is able to remain on its own with stability. And that is the real freedom of the mind. And that mind is like space, and so therefore it can never die. It never ceases to be. And when you realize that, you become a deathless Vidyadhara, an awareness holder that realizes immortality. You realize that the mind is beyond birth and death. First we accomplish the Vajra of the body in the first empowerment. That is the appearance, emptiness. So the body then becomes like a rainbow. And then with our speech, we accomplish the Vajra of speech. And that is when you do not grasp at any sound, all sound becomes mantra. And then when you do not grasp at form and sound, you realize the Vajra of the mind, which is awareness and emptiness, empty awareness. So when there is no grasping at form or sound, then naturally the mind abides in an empty, clear state. When there is no grasping at form, then we call that empty appearance, appearance emptiness. When there is no grasping at sound, then all sound becomes empty, so sound and emptiness. All sound becomes mantra. So not grasping here doesn't mean that you should think, I should not grasp at that, but you just let it be as it is. You just let it be without paying any attention. See seeing it just like an illusion, an illusory display. So that is very important, very significant. It is important to gain a personal experience in the way of liberating the various thoughts. And this is how you attain freedom of the mind. So in order to attain that, first you need to understand, and then experience, and then realize. So first you understand, and then you put that understanding into practice. You apply that to practice. And realization here means that then after having habituated to it, then that state remains always without change. And what remains is just this space-like nature, the awareness of this space-like nature that is beyond birth and beyond death. So reaching that state, you become courageous or fearless, just like Milarepa.
어디는 내 담보바에 요래 냐면 바요 담책 강의로 와서 담책을 송송 이 담책 캐리 말아 담보지 들인데 지도체고 그래 사실 담책을 때는 잡아 담책들 왕자스로 담책 지요래 얘나가 담책 왕래래 요래 이 잡아 담책들 변 너무 치모는 쳐다봐 차대 요래 이 상축 sem랑지 다 노하 강의용들이 상속점의 김신으로 집벌에 대조박하다 보자 좀적들이 디션들이 라이프송토가 되는 도요에 됐다 담책 캘링 오래
So in brief, here we have different practitioners. Some are beginning practitioners, some are more experienced practitioners, but we all receive now the same samaya. The life force of the empowerment is the samaya, and we will now repeat the samaya. And for the samaya, there is root samaya and branch samayas. The root samaya of the empowerment is a single one. And that is common to all the empowerments. So even if you have 100 empowerments, they share the same root samaya. And then the branch samayas, each empowerment has their own individual different samayas, commitments. So that root samaya is just like the water you pour into the root of a tree. That is most important. And that root samaya is only bodhicitta. And that is the only samaya actually common to both the sutras and the tantras. It is bodhicitta, it is the altruistic mind that must be sustained and protected with patience. And actually within that root samaya, the enlightened body, speech and mind of the deity, or the samayas of body, speech and mind are complete. So now we will repeat the samaya.
조전나 욕배 상계당 장첩 선바 탐제 나라 공서소 이거 하는 건 맹디죠.
Say your name.
나고 조장세 명시제외 두단에 종대 제시 장처 닝보라 지제 바드 라족돌 남발 야마 예담지 라종생 대예 송하 미래 인더 제누서 나월 이오.
All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas residing in the 10 directions, please think of me. Vajra Master, please think of me from today onwards until attaining the heart of enlightenment. I, who am called, and say your name, will take up the exalted deity Ushnisha Vijaya as my Yidam deity and will recite her mantra daily to whatever extent I am able.
Goni samji pindokwa de samji godok tamchuri di nangni de tamchiga tawa sanchuk sen sambata hingi on ram yi te tawa lunga ge jinu de pangji phiji de yori de zo de tamchik si pa de dapo jamna de sosoran je yo wakang samji de dapo ja go kali ke dapo de samji zuba dapo ja go 저랑 그 냠도 되게 좋다. 주로 너지 분도라 소바. 파마 녀들 따대 삼지지. 강로 삼지 용을 대 상축 선정 오리. 대 참아 이거 상축 선매. 대 루바하다 보자야 담석 다투가 루바고 그래.
So for the samaya of the body, we should never try to never cause any harm to the bodies of sentient beings. We should never harm their bodies. With our speech, we should never harm beings through our speech. And so then, in this way, when we practice the deity, we visualize the form of the deity. Naturally, we will benefit them through our body and speech. And then the root of all samaya is the samaya of the mind, that is a mind of bodhicitta. Actually, if you always sustain a mind of love and compassion, you will naturally practice the samayas of body and speech. You will naturally benefit beings. You will naturally not harm them, not hurt them, and naturally benefit them. And so then, how do we actually keep our samaya? What the samaya that needs to be kept is love and compassion, and how to keep love and compassion is by practicing patience. So that therefore really becomes our ultimate samaya, to practice patience. And so that is to sustain the love that we have for our friends, our Dharma brothers and sisters, our Vajra siblings, our parents, our relatives, and so on. So that's love, to sustain that love. And the essence of this love is bodhicitta. It is called bodhicitta if it reaches all beings. So it is sustained only if you practice patience. So patience, therefore, really becomes the ultimate samaya.
Then Humadi Barba, what you tell me that the Misoja Pep Chogori, that are Sancho and Jordan Bojet in Moram de Ja, 3D, one say Ya Pep, Samanyam the Langatari, Gaget of the Kapan de Guria, everybody raised the eye jank de Pep, and by the Penna, so he the Sancho and Jordan Bojet, you said to the GDJ. Sancho Boji, Matibana, Gigi, Chipanamba, Maya Kong, the Perajo.
Nyam the logo.
Nyam the logo, sorry.
So for the empowerment, then you can stay seated where you are. Because for now, also Rinpoche was thinking first of coming down, but it's difficult actually to come down. It's a bit crowded. So Rinpoche will not come down, so you can come up one by one. But don't all come at the same time. For now, just stay where you are, and you will be organized into rows. So row by row, you can come to receive the blessings of the empowerment. And then after you have received the empowerment, then you are free to leave. Before that, we will read together that prayer, may precious bodhicitta arise, and so on. Then you can come up one by one. The elderly or ill, you can stay seated where you are for now. And the rest, please come one by one, not getting up all at the same time. So first, let's read together the bodhicitta prayer, which is on page
81. We read English together. Page 81.
81.
Bodhicitta, the excellent and the precious mind, where it is unborn, may it rise, where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that Lama may have a good health. I pray that Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities suffer far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, they will all realize the automic state, and as the Samantavada, I will follow in the path, and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the invisible Sangha, order may the merit I shall bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain and surpass perfect, complete and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Digompa Ranashiri, who is omniscient, Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation and meditation until the end of the samsara. For this realm of circled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and blessing without exception. Tenzin Jamso, you who are the Logashora, may you remain in Sriyappai until samsara end. Embodiment of the three precious jewels, Pema Pane, who holds the teaching of the victorious one, seeing the all goodness meaning for the wisdom eye. May you who are spontaneously establish activity living long for hundreds of kalpas. Noble Manjushri, the Lord of Speech, who manifests to hold the teaching of the Tepi Gem, who arise the lamb of the sage's teachings. May you who are the light of Dharma living long for hundreds of kalpas. Om Sot unchanging great blessing Dharma Kaya, unceasing manifest
creativity Sambhoga Kaya, dance of compassion without object Nirmana Kaya, protector in nature the indivisible three Kayas, protect us. Why does the autumn moon replete with its 16 parts, the protectress from the 8 fears, mother of the 3 times victors, sits in the center of a white lotus holding an Utpala, wish-granting chakra, bestow immortal life. The one known in the Holy Land as Arya Deva, emanated into the Garchen of eastern Tibet as Chidingpa, the heart son of Chikden Sumgan. May the life of glorious Garchen remain steadfast for 100 eons. The full moon ornament of the three jewels teachings is exalted above the crevasses of the eastern mountains, yet its cool rays nurture the white lilies of the lower slopes. May Garchen the moon that benefits others live long. Casting to the wind all concern for food, clothing, and fame, he is girded with the armor of wisdom, morality, and a good heart. As firm in the 3 samadhis as the ocean is steep, may Garchen lamp flame of definitive meaning live long. In this age of strife and the victor's teachings faces hardship, through his powerful Vajra-like conduct, he takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbiased teaching. May Garchen, the son of the teachings, live long. There is no chance for demonic obstacles to affect the 3 secrets of the Lama who possesses blessings. Yet in accord with the principle of auspicious interdependence, this wish-granting supplication is wonderful. Through the compassionate truth and power of the 3 jewels and 3 roots, and through the might of Mahakala and Chukidharma, may these words of benediction made with pure heart be accordingly and spontaneously accomplished without hindrance. And so Rinpoche has also said, after you have received the empowerment, then you are free to leave for this evening.
Drink. This apple juice, drink it. Drink. Drink. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Drink. You drink. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Go Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Go Mani Padme
Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om
Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Drink. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. Om 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 Mani Padme Hum. Drink. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani drink. You drink, okay? Put here. With the bill. 먹으라서. 너는 그렇지. You are here. How are you? You got pill? Orange juice. Don't go. 그렇지. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum.
Wow, what's that? What you
Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum.
Kan du pas?
Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme